What's going on, ADV hooligans? ADV Gourmet here, and today we're talking fuel bottles and going over my camp gear for the 2025 season. I was looking through some of my fuel bottles and I came across this MRS bottle, and this MRS bottle I've had since 2000, so it is 25 years old now. Great fuel bottle, no complaint with it. The only one complaint that I have, and look, so be it, it is what it is, maybe the price. The price is around $21, $25, as of today. And I don't know, that's kind of expensive. Now, this fuel bottle, it actually attaches to a pump that I have for my Dragonfly, my MRS Dragonfly stove. All right, so that's the reason why I bought this in the first place. With that being said, I like to use my Fancy Feast stove a lot when I'm camping. This is Frankie Boots. I don't know if you guys know Frankie Boots or not, but he always likes to be in the scenes. He's my little kitty, little Frankie. But anyhow, I like to run my Fancy Feast stove because I like to give my cats Fancy Feast. I guess that's why he perked up. He heard that. And so with that being said, I went with this Trangia bottle pretty much because I like the top and the ease of use you get from this top and point it into the Fancy Feast stove. I really like that feature. And this bottle really doesn't have that feature. It's more of a pour. But as I got more and more into adventure riding, I found that, couple nights on the trail, this was great, but I needed a little bit more, so I was carrying this as well. Then I decided, it'd be nice to have just a little bit of extra fuel, for the bike. And, I could put the fuel in this, I could put the fuel in this, but it got me thinking, I went to go buy another bottle. I was like, man, $25, for a bottle, or $21, whatever it was. I was like, maybe I could do this cheaper. And with that being said, how can I take a regular water bottle that I already have at the house and turn it in to a fuel bottle? Well, essentially, that's what I've done. I'm going to show you all that and more today on ADV Gourmet. Kill on a Moto Lawyer, Rick Stewart. Someone made you fall? You better make that call. Better call Rick Stewart. He'll turn that wreck into a check. All right, guys, welcome back. I hope you like that little word from our sponsor. If you ever need anything as far as, accident related, someone hit you on your bike, in your car, no matter where it is, automotive wise, call the South Carolina Motor Lawyer, Rick Stewart. He's the one that's going to get that wreck turned into a check and relieve some of your pain and suffering. So call Rick Stewart. Now, with that being said, we're going to take these bottles and we're going to turn them into essentially a fuel bottle. And that's what I did with these here. So you can leave it like this, and really there's only one thing you got to do. All right. Or you can do another step. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a few minutes. And you can actually paint it red and make it all nice and pretty, so you actually know it's a fuel bottle versus a water bottle. Now, the one difference besides the pump, if you have a pump for a Dragonfly or another MRS stove, you need to check the threads on this to make sure it's going to fit. Because essentially, these threads are not the same as the threads that are on this MSR bottle. All right, they're just a little different. All right, and on your water bottles, all right, you're going to have on the MRS, you can see this, there's a little hole right there. All right, and that's so when you're pulling this off, it vents and doesn't have a bunch of, when you pop it, full explosion of gas or white gas or fuel, whatever you have in the bottle that time in your face. So it kind of vents it off. All right, that's something these water bottles aren't going to have, but very simple to fix with a drill and a drill bit. All right, so right over here, I've got the gaskets that came with this. Okay, a lot of people were saying, you know, it needs another type of gasket. Oh, all right, out of frame here. All right, so the other type of gasket are these O-rings, essentially. I had some of them. You get them at Harbor Freight. You get a whole box of these, a couple bucks. They're not expensive. You know, I found the size that fit, and essentially replace this with the gasket. All right. Excuse me. I replaced this rubber seal gasket with the O-ring. Then I did one other modification. I took a drill bit and I drilled a tiny hole on each side of this, so it has the venting that it needs. Other than that, I could essentially just leave this as is. But, I don't know. I think I'm going to paint it. So, I'm going to show you guys how to step-by-step paint this. It's pretty simple. Essentially, you need sandpaper and you need the color that you want to paint it, and a little bit of painter's tape. So with those three things, essentially, you can do this. So let me show you how to do that real quick. Some painter's tape, that's kind of where you start with. I like to take the cap off. All right. Take your piece of painter's tape. And I like to overlay it just a little bit over the threads. So those top threads are actually going to be, I'll be able to fold it around the gasket. I'm going to do this. You don't have to do anything fancy here. Push that in around the thread so it protects that gasket when it gets the seal on the bottle. All right. Push that in all together. And if you have the wide tape like I do, it takes one piece to do it. Now, what I'll do is I'll take a zip tie and put right through this so I can hang it. All right, so essentially then, just screw this down onto the bottle. And those top threads and the gasket are protected in case any paint gets up underneath there. Next thing you want to do is take you some fine grit. I don't know, I think this is about 160. No, this is 220 grit. So 220. And you just want to sand the outside of this real lightly. Don't take much. Just go around, scuff it up, and essentially what you want to do is give it a good texture so that that paint will adhere to the metal. And you can see the logo is about off already with just a couple rounds. I'm going to do the top. Make sure you get the top good, because that's where you're going to have fuel leakage, you know, coming out of the bottle. So you want a good application of paint up there when you make those spills. And then right around this area, obviously, you know, that's where you're going to be handling it the most. So we got that pretty good. A little scuff to the bottom here. Now this has a Made in China sticker. We'll take that off real quick. And that's essentially all you do. All right, guys. So you take some paper towels. Got some alcohol here. Squirt that on like so. All that residue off, and then as you can see on the paper towel, that logo that was blue, it gets any remaining of the logo off with the alcohol, and then it evaporates real good. Let that down. All right, so pretty much we're gonna let that dry for a few minutes, and then that's ready to paint. Right, so check out this paint job here. I got me a little paint booth. this makeshift I made. We're going to take it, we're going to hang it on this with the zip tie. We're going to give it a couple coats of red paint. Try to do it as evenly as possible when you're spray painting the paint. But there again, you know, no one's going to judge you if you get a couple runs or something on this. This is no big project that a lot of people are going to look at. This is for your own purposes. So with that being said, you know, get the paint on there good as you can. You know, no one judging you. And let it dry for a little bit and tack up. And then put a second coat on it. And I like to go sometimes horizontal, sometimes I go vertical. It just depends on how the paint's laying and the weather temperature, such like that. It depends on how it's sticking to the metal. But once you get it all wrapped up there, let it good and dry. And you see here, I hung mine under my patio heater. It's a little bit cold today. So I put it in the patio heater, and that pretty much made it dry a little bit quicker. Alright, so after it's dry and hard. Alright, so now once your bottle's all dry, you just take the tape off the top. Since you've already drilled the hole in it, you got the new O-ring on it. If you want to put a carabiner on there, you know, some kind of hook or something, you can. But essentially, I took this one and I labeled it with some of my wife's label making stencil letters there. I don't think they look all that great, but at least I know it's heat in here. You know, so this is going to be my heat bottle. And this is you know, inexpensive. I think I did this for, let's say, $3, maybe $4 after I bought, you know, the paint and such. And this one was $21. So, you know, huge savings there, about $15, $16. You know, I saved myself. And you can go to any of your local Habitat for Humanities, maybe a Goodwill, some kind of thrift store like that, where people donate items. I know people are all the time have extra water bottles, you know, from sporting events, sports outings, you know, different things that kids are involved in, and you get a free water bottle, you know, by participating, you know, so they rack up. I do prefer with these the single wall bottles. I think if you get a double wall, you know, I mean, what are you're trying to keep the fuel, you know, cool. Maybe in the desert, if you really wanted to do something like that, you know, if you're having a problem with, you know, fuel leakage or evaporation or something, I don't know, you know, why you would ever need a double. If you guys know why you would need a double walled bottle, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear why. So with that being said, you know, I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Like and subscribe. The more you like, the more you subscribe, the more I can make. I don't know if these are great videos, but they're videos. But hopefully this saved you some money. So these money saving videos. And from ADV Gourmet, I'll see you guys out on the trails. Peace. Little kitty, are you wanting to be part of this too? Were you wanting to be in the video today? You're just a little shy. You can come back in front of the camera. Here she comes. She's creeping. Her name is Reese. She's the little kitty. This is the little abandoned kitty that my neighbors abandoned that I took in when we first moved into this house. Oh, and Frank hears me talking about her, so here comes Frank. He gets jealous. There he is. He gets a little jealous. Frank, too, was an abandoned kitty that just showed up one day and we took in. Right, Frank? You my big guy? Frank, can you tell all the people out there? Tell them. Like, subscribe, and support the channel. Tell them, Frank. So we can buy you some more, what, Temptations? Frank likes Temptations. As you can see. Don't tempt him. Frank, you're so mean sometimes. He's pissed. All right, well, that's all from ADV Gourmet. Peace.